Now that we're all Nintendo Direct out for the year of 2023, the leaks and rumors are just gonna pour in. It's like a sieve, the sand just begins to fall through, and today that shows itself so very clearly. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Hope you're all doing fantastic. We've got some very interesting things to cover today, and I'm gonna get right into it. Refresh the Blue, and if you didn't check out my Gunbrella review, you really should, because that game is amazing. This doesn't rhyme, but it's really important because I think it's one of the best indies on Switch in years. So what's up, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Let's kick right into it. All right, the first thing that we want to talk about comes from Nintendo themselves, and they have leveled up their security in a way that I think bodes well for the future. I think every move Nintendo makes in this time frame really can be viewed as something setting up for the next big thing. Right? They're obviously at the very end of the Switch life cycle, but they continue to make some changes and continue to hire and continue to make moves that I think indicate and help us sort of predict where they're going. Today, Nintendo has introduced a PassKey system for Nintendo accounts. It's the first time Nintendo is really getting modern with how you can log in. Believe it or not, Nintendo now will let you log in with a thumbprint or a face. Pretty darn great. Now, this only works on Nintendo accounts, like on your phone, right? Because there's no thumbprint sensor or camera on the Switch that could scan your face, but maybe there is on Switch 2. Could there perhaps be a camera, like we've heard rumored many times, that will allow you to log into your Switch 2 with facial ID technology? That would be freaking sick. Now, again, this alone is a nice advancement for Nintendo, and it does feel like maybe they're 5 years late on fingerprint, face ID type technology, but hey, it's an easier way, a quicker way, and frankly a more secure way to protect your Nintendo account and to log in than just a simple email and password. The Switch still relies on that for going to the eShop and things of that sort, but maybe really they could upgrade the Switch 2 to have a better form of security and an easier, quicker form of login that would be akin to your phone. I don't know how proprietary that technology is or how they could make it work, but I think it would be dang sick if I didn't have to type in my password on my Switch account, if I could just scan it and be ready to go. Although, would they get the blue hair? I hope so. Now let the sand kernels fall. A friend that works at a third party told me the difference in dev kit excitement working on Nintendo's next system is night and day to how they approach Nintendo Switch. There is nothing else beyond that, but hypothesizing on my part, this likely also speaks true for multiple studios. Now, this comes from Paul Gale Network, who is a Nintendo creator, a Nintendo super fan, a Nintendo insider, perhaps. I've seen a lot of things circulated by Paul Gale in the past, and he has written me on numerous occasions with different little bits and bobs of information. I wouldn't put him on like a Nate Drake level at all, but I do think that he tries to be very keyed into what Nintendo's got going on, and it would make total sense that he has friends that do work at publishers / developers that are involved with Nintendo games, and so hearing this is very good news. I've seen other people start to pick this up and they're taking it seriously, so I will do the same. Knowing that Nintendo Switch 2 is a night and day difference from Nintendo Switch 1 in terms of third-party development is huge. Now, this could be just because of the power. This could be just because of what they've got going on in terms of the chipset that they've picked and how they are working with more oomph than they were with Switch 1. But it also could be some other nuances as well in terms of what they learned over the development of the Switch and trying to be a more universal platform, one that is welcoming to not just indies, but third parties as well. I think Switch was really the eye-opening experience for Nintendo, like, wow, third parties do want to work with us a ton when we're successful, let's make it easier. I'm sure this was one of the goals of Switch 2, was to say, hey, how can we make porting things over easier so we can get more games and not run into crazy graphical issues or need special porting studios. Like, as much as Panic Button and Saber have done amazing work, it would be great if you didn't need that extra work, that extra time, money, dedication, and cleverness to get things working on Switch. So this isn't really a surprise. I don't think this is really any like light bulb moment, but it is good to hear that there are talks of, hey, Switch 2 is already significantly improved. And that's from the jump, right? Maybe Nintendo went out of their way as the Switch lifecycle evolved to help developers, help third parties, but from the beginning, knowing that Switch 2 is already a playground for third-party devs is really exciting to me, because then we could start off with a much more even playing field. We've got a power parity that is workable, right? That's what we're hearing across the board. Like, yes, it's not PS5, of course. It's not maybe even Xbox Series S, but with DLSS, they are able to level up and they are able to make things work nice and easy. And that's all you can ask for. You're never going to have the same graphics across these systems when one is a freaking hybrid and made by Nintendo. But if we could get more of the big franchises, if it is easier to port games day and date, you're going to see the Nintendo Switch library expand exponentially, and the system as a whole only benefits from that, and frankly, we do too. Easier ports means more games, but also better running games, and that means that paying the same price point on Switch does not feel like a penalty, it feels like actually a perk. Moving right along, we've got another rumor that ties in so perfectly to the last. This one comes from Nash Weedle. And I will preface this by saying, I don't know if Nash Weedle has any realness. Nash Weedle initially gained popularity a few years back by correctly predicting Metroid Dread and supposedly being in close contact with the studio Mercury Steam that worked on that game. Since then, he's made some different predictions for Switch 2, some rumors, some leaks, things of the sort, and upcoming games, and they haven't really panned out as well. This is no PRO for sure, but I do find this interesting in light of last night's revealed Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth trailer. Nash Weedle says that even though Yakuza was not working on Nintendo Switch and the producer said it clashed with the image of the Switch, the kind of game it is, the kind of platform it is, I totally don't agree with that. If we can have Mortal Kombat on Switch, we can have Yakuza. But apparently, according to Nash Weedle, there will be a bundle released for the launch of Nintendo Switch 2. And he shows images of multiple different Yakuza games, including Like a Dragon. So it's unsure where he's getting this information from. It's unclear how he acquired it, and it's definitely not set in stone which games it would be. I would imagine that every company would love to put their IP on Nintendo Switch 2, given the success of Nintendo Switch 1, and then in conjunction with better power, easier porting, and a playground for third parties, like, this obviously makes perfect sense. So Nash Weedle could have a actual leak on his hands, or he could just be making a very educated prediction. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that Yakuza does want to be on Nintendo Switch 2. Sega has supported Nintendo Switch extensively, and getting one of their bigger franchises that does have a new game and does have a wide range of past titles to port over, this only makes sense. So will Yakuza come to Nintendo Switch 2? I believe that it will. Does Nash Weedle have insider knowledge? I don't know. Coin flip on that one. I would lean towards maybe not. I don't believe this rumor because of the specific source of the rumor. I believe this rumor because I think it adds up, it makes sense. And I know that Like a Dragon wants to popularize itself and sell more and be bigger, and they continue to fund this franchise very well. It only makes sense that you want to be on the most exciting new platform on the market, or soon on the market, Nintendo Switch 2. No matter how you feel about the recent Direct or Nintendo's upcoming lineup, I think we're in a super exciting time. And I think all signs and all things that we're hearing, seeing, and that are sieving through are positives. We're not hearing that like, ooh, the Switch 2 is rough and tumble for third-party developers. Ooh, the power, you're going to be disappointed. Ooh, the DLSS they got on there, it's not really doing all that much. Ooh, it's been unimpressive and it seems like Nintendo is struggling with this transition. No, you're hearing the exact opposite. And whether they're all true or just some of them are true or 15% of them are true, the thing that bodes well is it's all positive. And I think this is really going to be a very special next year for Nintendo Switch as a whole and for Nintendo fans as a group. We've got a very exciting piece of hardware upcoming. We've got Nintendo in one of the strongest positions they've ever been, and we have third parties chomping at the bit to get a piece of the Nintendo pie. This is the best case scenario, and if you assume a soon Metroid Prime 4 launch and a 3D Mario launch, we are eating. You're getting the remakes and remasters that you've always wanted. New titles should be more exciting than ever, and the power is finally not so wide and far apart. This literally is the dream scenario for Nintendo fans, and I am so here for it. So every piece of information, every little detail is exciting and thrilling to me, because I do think, despite the Switch being phenomenal, we're actually just now entering the real golden era for Nintendo and for Nintendo fans. And considering how good it's been, that's music to my ears. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, SwitchForce out.